Anyone got a pencil? Hello, my name's Mark, and I'm the host of the Mixtape podcast, where every week on the show I will ask my guests to make up an imaginary mixtape. They'll give it a title and pick 6 tracks. Track 1, what's going to be your intro track, your attention grabber, your track 1 side one that's going to draw me in and make me want to listen to the rest of your tape. Track 2, pick a song that you sing loud and proud when you're on your own in the car or the shower. Track 3, pick your favourite cover version. Track 4, pick a song you wish you could have played to your 18-year-old self. Track 5, pick a song that you would put on your mixtape to let the listener know that you are romantically interested. And track 6, I'm going to ask them to pick something a little bit obscure, maybe a B-side or an album track. Don't forget to smash that follow or plus sign at the top of the page, and you'll be notified every time there's a new episode. And you can follow me on Instagram at the Mixtape Perth. Hope you enjoy this week's chat. Good evening and welcome to another mixtape. Joining me on this week's show, pretty much every band that I've spoken to over the last sort of 6 or 8 months has mentioned this band to me. So I thought there must be something in it. So I've hit him up, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome Trent from Last Quokka to the show. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Mark. Thanks so much for having us, and I'm glad you've got some recommendations to give us a crack. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no, I think it was Rat Salad were raving about yours. Jane from
Awesome.
Electra Fuzz. Yeah, they're just 2 off the top of my head that I can remember. But yeah, your name's cropped up in conversation far too many times for me to ignore.
Oh, that's
So
great.
yeah, I just had to jump on it. So last night you played the record bite for RTR FM Radio Fun Party. How did that go down, mate?
That was it was pretty raucous. It was a really fun, a really fun gig. The Record Bite's a wicked venue, and I
Yeah.
guess those RTR gigs are always so much fun because there's just such a sense of community and I guess like camaraderie, yeah, all that connection. So it was a lot of like catching up with people and having a few frothies, and the bands that we saw playing at the actual Record Bite venue and the DJs upstairs, it was just like,
Mm.
yeah, phenomenal. And yeah, I think we danced until pretty late, so you'll have to excuse the husky voice.
It's all good, mate. That's no worries. Yeah, I like the Record Bite. It's one of my favourite venues in Perth. I think I saw Future Islands there last. That was a great gig there. I'm just starting presenting on RTRFM myself as well. So
Cool.
I've got the mixtape on KCR, and then I'm doing a few overnight shows for RTR, and then yeah, I'll be dropping in on their roster a little bit more regular. So your new album Red Dirt is out now, and you're touring to support the album. I've just rattled through the tour dates. I've got them written down here. So September the 16th, you're playing the Milk Bar in Perth, also another one of my favourite venues. Love that venue. 22nd of September, it's the Golden Wattle in Adelaide. 23rd of September, it's the Basement in Canberra. 29th of September, the Last Chance Rock and Roll Bar in Melbourne. 30th of September, it's the Duke of Enmore in Sydney. And October the 1st, I need to go to this venue, the Bearded Lady in Brizzy. So there, your tour dates. Where can we get tickets from there, mate? Is there links in your bio for your Instagram?
Good question. I was just thinking as you're reading through the dates, I was like, thank God you're doing that, because I actually got them out up in front of me before the chat, because I wouldn't be able to remember them, and as well as along with dates and venues. My memory of the admin side of the band is always a bit shaky. We leave that up
You're
to
the front man. You don't need to worry about
yeah,
it.
yeah. They have to carry all the instruments and
Yeah.
organize everything. I just kind of waltz up on the stage and plug my mic in. No, I don't know if any of them are ticketed. I think I think if you probably got online and had a look for those shows, you might be able to find some. But
You're supporting Glitterous, is it on one of those dates? The
yeah,
Canberra date, I think
yeah,
it is.
over in Canberra, it's gonna be awesome. We just played with that crew over here over the last weekend down in Bunbury, up in Perth, and then in Freo on the Sunday, and it was really fun playing those shows and getting to know them. They're actually a band I love. I remember when I think it was 2018, Four Corners put out that Don Dowd Detention Centre news piece of journalism that was quite groundbreaking, and they released that song Spit Hood, and I kind of came across them that way, and I was like, these guys are awesome. And that album, The Policy, they put out was cool. So it was really cool to actually be able to tour with them 5 years later and get to
Mm.
know them.
Yeah, yeah.
Wicked band, and can't wait to be with them in their hometown. So
Awesome, awesome.
yeah,
Just shout out your Instagram, mate. It's at Last Quokka, is that right?
that's correct. Yeah, Last Quokka, that's us.
That's that's the joy of having a band name like that. You got no underscores, dots, or ats or anything like. It's just Last Quokka. Brilliant.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely. It helps.
you get your website domain and everything like that is all good. Always reminds me. I don't know if you're aware of them. There's an English band called A, just the letter A.
Letter
Um,
A.
what, what a
How do you
nightmare.
find that on Google?
I
What a
know, I know.
nightmare.
What were they thinking? They were sort of they were pre-internet. They were sort of a mid to late '90s band from the UK. And there's another band, a slightly later era, called The Music. Again, almost impossible to Google or find out anything about them. Yeah, I think these days bands have to sort of you have to think about that when you're forming a band and you're thinking about band names. You have to think about web domains and social media handles and that kind of thing.
That's it.
Yeah,
It's
how
it's
things have
it's
changed.
how things have changed, and it's funny. Like
Mm,
we didn't. I mean, didn't put any thought into like that kind of thought into the band name when we started off. Or just like, we just had this kind of crazy post-apocalyptic idea of like some comic book series, The Last Quokka Alive, through the environmental
mm,
crisis, and it was a bit of like
yeah,
a kind of anarchist quokka who was taking on the system, and we wanted to design comics about it, and we're like, oh,
yeah,
what a cool band name. And it kind of
yeah,
just
yeah.
settled that way. And then as
Mm.
times progress, it's like, I thank God we've gone with a unique name that no one else has got, because the so many music projects and stuff there now. So, a lot of bands share and acts share similar names. So it's nice to have a
Yeah,
unique
yeah,
one. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So the record you've got out at the moment, Red Dirt, is that available? That's available for your Bandcamp, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So you can get Red Dirt through our Bandcamp or through Stock Records Bandcamp. Over on the East Coast, you can get it through Tough Cuff Records. And just shout out
Hmm.
to that record label over in Melbourne. Just an
Yeah.
excellent crew.
Mm.
And over in Europe, you can get it through Mass Prod as well.
Right. Okay. Cool. I was
Yeah.
eyeing up your red vinyl and t-shirt bundle a little bit earlier on, so I think you'll probably see a purchase coming through from me in
Awesome.
the next few days. I do love a band t-shirt. I'm open to admitting now that I have got a little bit of a problem when it comes to band t-shirts. I just can't say no. Um,
Yeah.
I got 60 or 70 odd t-shirts hanging in the wardrobe, and it is becoming a bit of a storage problem now.
Well, they're like souvenirs, right? You go to this wicked
Exactly
show,
right,
and
mate.
you
Yeah,
might already
yeah,
have the
yeah,
record, or you like pay extra
yeah.
$20 and you get the shirt with the record too. It's like, hell
Exactly
yeah.
right. Yeah,
And my
yeah.
my
Why
my
not?
wardrobe's the same. So,
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
yeah.
Now, sort of listening to the record over the last few days when I knew you were coming on, it seemed to me to be, how can I put this, a very sort of WA inspired record. Like you've got song titles like Broom and Bibble Mum, and the lyrically it's very WA centric. Was that something that you were thinking about and obviously inspired by when you were writing the songs for the record?
Yeah, I've actually always had a real love for contemporary Australian culture. I just think there was a large part of me for a long time that was really rallying against that part of myself, and I really kind of um, went through a long period of despising everything that Australia stood for.
Hmm.
From invasion and colonization to like
Sure.
the rise of the right wing, and just like the disparity in wealth and state capture, oil and gas companies, all this stuff, and just the
Hmm.
destruction of environment and culture, all this stuff. And more recently, as I think I've started getting a bit more in my views, I was like, well, that's not entirely true. There's a lot I really, really love about where I live. These regional towns, old roadhouses, like very long story of resistance from invasion. Like there's so much that's great, and small country towns and the red dirt and the jarrah trees. There's just so much that's to love, and I think
Sure.
for a while there I was rallying so much against it that I forgot what I was kind of fighting for and what I was hoping to protect and care for and nurture. When Red Dirt came around, I think the lyrics that were coming out of me were a lot more focused on like calling out a lot of the crap that this country kind of has running through its veins, but also focusing on the beautiful stuff like these beautiful regional
Mm.
towns and open roads and yeah, like good communities as well.
No, no, it's a great record, and I wanted to ask you, well, just quickly, is Gale Place in WA? Because that's one of my favourite tracks from the song, but I'm not aware of it as a place.
Yeah. Thanks. It's my favorite. I said my favorite track on the album. It's really it comes from a really emotional place. Miguel Place was the name of the street that I grew up on as a kid. It's
Hmm.
a cul-de-sac in the northern suburbs of Perth. And I just had a lot of good memories there, playing on the street as a kid and being free and running around barefoot, riding bikes, all that. And again, like it was really nice to, I guess, pay homage to some of the stuff I've loved about
Hmm.
my life and my upbringing as well with that
Yeah,
track. And
yeah,
it really comes from the heart, that song.
yeah. And the rest of the band, are they all WA based band members? Did you sort of how did you get together as a band? Do you meet them, growing up, or have you known them a long time?
So my link to Last Quokka was so Ray, our bass guitarist, I'd known for years through like gigs and parties and whatever,
Mm.
and I'd never actually done vocals for a band before, or for anything. I actually can't sing, so it would make sense. I've not tried not tried in a band, but I just ended up contacting him for a bit of a laugh, and he was already jamming with a few other people, and at the time it was the drummer, then Jose and Kirill, one of our guitarists, and yeah, like they just invited me down for a bit of a laugh and did Vokes, and it kind of worked out that way. And for that part of the band, and for the first for 5 to 6 years since then, the band was a four-piece with all of us who live in Perth now.
Mhm.
And since then, Jose's gone on to different things, and we've got Carlotta in the band who calls Perth home as well, and we've added Justin on guitar. Although that a lot of band members have come from different parts of the world, like Carlotta from Guatemala, Kirill from Russia,
Mhm.
even Ray from the Southwest. We're all kind of geographically diverse, but we
Mhm.
all call Perth home now.
Next question was I wanted to talk to you about your environmental, I don't know, activism. Is that the right phrase?
Yeah,
And
I think it's pretty accurate.
the Disrupt Burrup Hub
Yeah.
website that you're a part of. Just talk to me a little bit about that and what your sort of goals are and around that sort of that movement.
So yeah, Disrupt Burrup Hub is a campaign run over here, focused on effectively, it's in the name, as ending industry expansion and then all industry on the Burrup Peninsula up in the
Mm.
northwest of Australia. At the moment, the hub of industry up there, it's projected to put 6 billion tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere
Mhm.
in the middle of a climate crisis. A lot of us think that's really unacceptable.
Mhm.
And I think something that had a really big impact on me is getting up there and seeing the destruction of cultural sites. So there's effectively a rock gallery out there that's got over 1 million different petroglyphs that are all like up to 100,000 years old, engraved on these rocks, and they're quite amazing and gorgeous
Mhm.
and highly spiritual places. And if you're staring side on and looking at those petroglyphs out of one eye, from the left there's a massive fertilizer plant just spraying like acidic air
Wow.
all
Yeah.
over those rocks, and you can see that this art, this like what should be World Heritage
Mhm.
listed art, is just being destroyed by industry up there. So for that and a whole bunch of other reasons, I think we're all kind of sick of the state capture that organizations like Woodside have over our government. We've got like anti anti-terrorist police raiding my house, arresting
Mhm.
myself and my partner, friends of ours, kind of acting like Meg O'Neill, CEO of Woodside's kind of personal security force,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is crazy. And to think that we've got the counter-terrorist police, acting like a security force 24/7 effectively, and there's like people surviving and resisting domestic violence that can't get cops to turn up to their house. The kind of corruption that's just like running through the system. It's something we're all kind of sick of. So Disrupt Burrup Hub is trying to effectively, its one goal is to end industry on the Burrup Peninsula.
Mhm.
But as events have unfolded, it's become about state capture, privacy, police and government overreach, and all that kind of stuff as
Mhm.
well. And
Mhm.
yeah, I could encourage anyone that's listening to this to have a look at the work that Disrupt Burrup Hub are doing, because yeah, they're doing a lot of really good stuff to raise awareness for, I guess, the horrific stuff that Woodside and Co are doing
Just
everywhere at
shout,
the moment.
just shout out that website, mate. Is it disruptburruphub.com? Is it
Yeah.
.au or just .com?
Um, one of the two, actually. I'm not sure
Okay.
which, but yeah. If you Google Disrupt Burrup Hub, it'll be one of the
Yeah.
first things that come up.
What
Yeah.
what I'll do as well, Trent, is I normally in the podcast description I'll put a link to your website and your socials as well. I'll add that into that as well. So anyone listening to the podcast, you can just go into the description of this podcast and you'll find a link
Awesome.
for,
Thanks,
for for
mate.
that that Trent's talking about there. No worries. Okay, let's get into the mixtape section of the chat. I'm going to ask you for a title of your mixtape, mate. What did you come up with?
I want to call it Love of Country. I think there's some lovely themes about love of country that run through the playlist.
Fantastic, awesome. So for track one of your mixtape, Trent, I asked you to pick a song that's going to, track one, side one of your mixtape that's going to have an impact and it's going to make me want to listen to the rest of your tape. What did you go with, mate?
Yeah, I went with "Throw Away the Keys" by Fluent and Benny Bajar.
Mm-hmm.
So they're two Aboriginal hip hop artists over here. They're just I mean, I've listened to Benny Bajar for years. That record he put out would have been 5 or 6 years ago now, at least,
Mm-hmm.
was just awesome. And I don't listen to a whole heap of hip hop, but when I'm grabbed by hip hop, I'm really grabbed by it.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are always the first to help out environmental causes and play for shows and be out there and show solidarity with the causes. So
Mm-hmm.
I really respect both of them. Um, and I guess there's a personal relation to the content of this story as well. I worked for a drug and alcohol agency inside a medium security women's prison
Mm-hmm.
over here, and the way I saw all people held in that prison treated by the system was abhorrent. Like, I always thought it was bad, but seeing it firsthand, it was atrocious. And then seeing that like 20 to 30% of the people in there were Aboriginal, despite having such a lower proportion of the population, it was insane. And the Aboriginal people get treated worse in prison. That's not radical. I saw that so blatantly with
Mm-hmm.
blatant racism from security guards and
Mm-hmm.
a real lack of cultural understanding. So, Australia's long-standing policy is, breed them out, lock them up, all these kinds of things. Uh, that's how they want to deal with our First Nations people. The oldest continuing culture on Earth, and it's horrific. And I just I really appreciate this song for highlighting that.
It's certainly an impactful track musically and lyrically as well.
Yeah,
And I think for me, I don't know if you picked up on the old accent, Trent, but I'm not a true blue Aussie, mate. I'm a born and bred Londoner. I've been living here since 2010, and I had no idea when I first came to live in Australia, like the history around Aboriginal culture and the atrocities and the treatment, like unbelievable. Like I was
yeah,
so shocked when I first came here, and I used to work for a mining company, and I did like a cultural awareness sort of session and things like that were given by Indigenous trainers, and I just like
yeah.
I spent the day like open mouth, like what? You need a
It's
passport to get to town? What? Like
yeah, yeah.
and then they started talking about the stolen generation, and that just blew my mind, mate. Like I had
Yeah,
no idea any of that had gone on, like at all. Like it was staggering to hear.
and the thing is, I shared that same experience as you, although being born in Australia, of going to when I was working on mine sites,
Mm,
when I was much younger and doing those inductions for construction companies.
yeah.
And I was raised in the country, and I was never taught properly of the stolen generations or invasion, all that
Mm,
kind of stuff. And I was raised here, and it's such a glass shattering moment when you realize
mm,
that, like,
yeah.
the nation is built on murder and slavery. And
Mm, yeah.
um it yeah I just yeah, it's just it blows my mind that we were never taught this stuff.
Yeah. I think that's an important point that you touch on there is not being taught it. Like I personally believe that you can, the only way you can move forward is by sort of acknowledging the past and past mistakes and learning from them. Do you know what I mean? And that's true in in all walks of life. Teaching the kids like, that history that really needs to happen, like in schools and it needs to be on the curriculum and because it's important part of, it's not a nice thing to hear. It's not a
No.
nice thing to know about the country that you grow up in, not a nice thing to find out, but it's critical to not be to not repeat the mistakes of the past. I think to know, what's gone on before. Track two of your mixtape, Trent, was I asked you to pick a song that you sing loud and proud when you're on your own in the car or the shower, mate. What did you go with?
I am like the biggest Phoebe Bridgers fan I think in the world. She's I call it. I think she is my favorite artist of all time.
Hmm.
Um, and she came to me. Her and Connor Oberst put out that Better Oblivion Community Center album.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is this? Who is this woman singing with Connor Oberst? Like, she's incredible. And discovered it was just before COVID hit, and I think I just started listening to Phoebe Bridgers at the start of COVID, which was
Mm,
I mean, working in drug and alcohol setting in a prison setting when your
mm,
friends are being paid $1,000 a week to write death metal albums in their bedrooms, and you're like
yeah.
you're working your ass off in a prison. Like, it was just like a really emotional and stressed time, and just I just found her music and I was like, she's phenomenal.
Mm,
The vulnerability and authenticity in what she sings about, but doing it with a wry smile, I love. So I chose her song "I Know the End." Just a really cool track. It's big. I like a track that builds, and I love the lyrics. So it's so fun to sing along to. And as the song progresses, you want to start yelling more and more. And
yeah.
yeah, I've blasted this out loudly in many settings before where I didn't think people could hear me, and I'm sure they could.
She first came sort of up on my radar. I'm a big fan of the National and Matt Berninger, and she popped up on his solo album, I think, and one of their records. That's how I actually first popped up on my radar, and then played Boy Genius a couple of times on the show as well.
Great,
Yeah, and I'm also a massive Bright Eyes fan. Like, I'm Wide Awake Each Morning is one of my all-time favorite records. So,
awesome. Yeah,
yeah, when that collaboration came up, I was like, when I saw that she collaborated with Conor Oberst as well, I was like, wow, yeah, there's definitely something to be explored here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love the way she collaborates. Like, I read her described as a serial collaborator. Like,
yeah,
she's got enough on her own as a solo artist, like more than Ryan Adams as well. I think they were together for a while. I think she was
they
with Ryan
were.
Adams
Yeah,
for a
yeah, I
while.
think so. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and so many, like, when someone's collaborated with loads of your favorite artists, it's like you think, oh, okay, there's definitely something to be explored here, like, for sure. Like, yeah, and I love that track as well. It's a great video as well. I don't know how long she sat in that bath of water filming that video. But
Yeah.
yeah, she would have been freezing cold at the end of
Yeah,
that shoot, mate.
insane,
Yeah,
isn't it? It's
yeah,
such
yeah.
a good video clip. You're right. Hey, it's wicked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's unreal. Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
It's sad. This is the way I think, right? But
yeah.
when she gets there, when she steps out of the bath, and the floor's completely dry, I was like, how many takes they done of that? How many people they got down there with like mops and stuff, like mopping the drip,
Yeah.
so the floor looks completely dry every time she gets out. I was thinking of these poor bastards mopping up the floor every time she gets out of the
Yeah.
bath for a take. But that's just how my mind works when I'm watching music videos.
That's funny. My partner's is exactly the same when we're watching, like, I'll be watching, like, I don't know, an advert that's on the TV or a TV channel, and I'm just like blanking out to it. And she's like, how did they do this thing with the thing? And then they do that. And I was like, I don't know. So
Hello, yeah,
you,
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys you guys should have a chat one time.
Okay, track three of your mixtape, Trent, and I asked you to pick your favourite cover version, mate. What did you go with?
I went with King Stingray's like a version when they covered Coldplay's Yellow.
Yeah,
Uh Friggin' cool. Like, King Stingray are amazing. Saw them live at Frio Social maybe earlier this year or
yeah,
late
it wasn't
last
that long
year.
ago, was it? Yeah, I missed
Well,
them earlier
yeah,
this year. Yeah,
it was so good, and they did the cover of Yellow, and I hadn't paid it much attention because there's something about cover songs. I've just always been like, yeah, whatever, And
yeah,
but yeah, they played that. I was like, this is so cool. And the guys on stage were explaining that they actually chose to do Yellow um, as their like a version because it's their mob or their clan group color.
mm,
So I
yeah,
guess the clan groups up in Arnhem Land have a color. So that, and when they burst into singing language in that verse as well, it just
yeah,
like really hits me right in the feels. Hey, it's
yeah,
really
yeah.
special, and I just think it's a great cover.
I'm surprised it didn't finish higher up the list of the Triple J. They just did their hottest 100 like versions not that long ago, and I was
Yeah,
surprised. I think it was top 10, but I think if it had been around a bit longer, if it was a few years older, I think it might have been like top two or three. But yeah, like a version for me is always. I had the same conversation with Rat Salad about like a version. it's so hit and miss, but when it hits, like it really does.
It
Like
really
and
hits.
when there's not many like versions where I watch them on YouTube and I look at the comments. There's barely a single negative comment on that track. But every like a version, it's like it's so they're so polarizing. There's both sides trading off in the comment section, if you like. But with
Yeah,
that
yeah.
track, there ain't. It's almost all like positive buzzing, off the track comments. Yeah, unreal cover version. Yeah, and I was gutted that I missed them when they were in Perth. I don't know what I was doing. I might have been in Darwin that week,
Oh,
for
damn.
a trip. Okay, then track 4 of your mixtape. I asked you to pick a song that you wish you could have played to your 18-year-old self. What did you go with, mate?
Well, look, this song wasn't out when I was 18, but I think the sentiment behind me choosing it will make sense. So I went with Lana Del Rey's song "Venice Bitch" off the Norman fucking Rockwell album she put out in
Hmm.
2019. Um, when I was 18, I was just this like angry little post-punky kid that like rejected everything in popular culture. I was also like super closeted, kind of bisexual, kind of
Hmm.
um, angry. I didn't want to engage in anything that was a little bit feminine or a little bit
Hmm.
possibly queer because I was so scared of that truth inside myself. And
Yeah.
I think like I spent so long raging against the mainstream that I really lost a lot of my chance to develop some character in the context of that
Hmm.
awesome some of the really great stuff that we hear in popular culture. And I think if I'd heard Venice Bitch by Lana Del Rey when I was 18, I would have understood that sometimes pop music is pop music because it's just really bloody good.
Yeah.
And there's some actual like literal masterpieces that some of these pop musicians do. And Venice Beach by Lana Del Rey is it's just a mind-blowing journey. Like again, the song progresses and changes and shifts.
Hmm.
The mood kind of grows and changes. Is extremely intricate. Um, and I didn't, if you know, I couldn't fathom as a young kid that pop music could be so intelligent and so deep and so um, yeah, just so excellent. I would have really liked to, yeah, to have lent into maybe a bit more of, I guess, like maybe accepted and overcome a lot more of my rage and been able to engage in popular culture a bit more younger. And I think I
Yeah.
probably would have, yeah, would have probably become more well-rounded a bit quicker.
What sort
Yeah.
of stuff were you listening to as an 18-year-old, Trent?
Yeah, good question. I was like high school for me at least was all about punk rock. So I really liked a lot of that kind of like Fat Records punk. I also loved a lot of the Factory Record stuff as well. And Joy Division especially. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
they were like Joy Division was my transition into like, oh, I get music now, I guess.
Mm.
And then even a lot of the like the more popular indie stuff back then as well. We listened to a lot of like Interpol and Block Party and
Two of those are coming to Perth pretty soon. I think Peter Hook and the Light are coming and Block Party as well.
yeah, I think Block Party and Interpol are actually touring together, which is
Oh,
pretty
true.
pretty
Oh,
crazy.
okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Tossing up whether I go or not. I think it could be a bit of fun. So, but
I
yeah, yeah, could be cool. But I guess for me, mostly what I listened to was a lot of punk rock. That was kind of my um, kind of yeah, my kind of segue into not just listening to what my parents listened to, kind of thing.
Mm. Okay. Track 5 on your mixtape, Trent, is a song that you would put on your mixtape to let the listener know that you're romantically interested. What did you go with, mate?
We were talking about touring acts coming over. These guys just came over recently.
Mm.
Floodlights from I think they're from Melbourne. Like one of the best bands I've discovered more recently over the last couple of years. Just an excellent pub rock band.
Mm.
That Australian pubby kind of rock stuff I really love. So Floodlights, it's a Floodlight song called "Things You Do."
Mm.
It's my favorite track off their new album. Yeah, it's just a real beautiful feeler. There's a specific lyric in this song, which is the factory of your thoughts brings joy to me. And I just find it so beautiful the way it's sung and the
Mm.
part of the song it's sung in, and I guess the context of the rest of the lyrics. I'm just like, this is so beautiful. And it's I feel that I'm in love now, and if I feel that like that kind of thought that I could be engaged in my partner's brain for ages and
Mm.
just be happy and be joyful, and I just related to that this song. I think it's quite beautiful.
have you ever used a mixtape, Trent, to woo someone?
I was like, I would sit in my room in high school. I didn't get along. I didn't really understand socializing in school. I got bullied quite a bit, and I
Mm,
didn't quite like get how to relate to people. So I made a lot of mixed CDs for girls I
mm,
had crushes on that I'd probably never even spoken to, and I never gave it to them. I just made the CDs, which is
mhm.
it's kind of sad, really, but like I can look back on it now and have a laugh. Um, and yeah, I guess I did a lot of that back in the day, and I think once we started playlisting stuff, I lost interest because I used to like burning the CD and all
Yeah,
that.
same. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Like you burn the CD and you put a lot of effort into it. You can't just do that for anyone, but I don't know, playlists just feel like so simple to throw together. So I haven't.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe I should do one for Emma, my partner. Maybe. Oh, that's my new commitment.
I'm old enough to remember actual mixtapes,
Yeah,
and not
true.
and not just CDs. So
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a physical format collector, and I do still collect cassettes, and it's something I've thought about doing as a promo thing for the show is to get some mixtapes like put together. Do you know what I mean? Of tracks that people have chosen. Track six, Trent, final track, bonus track, and that is a track that's something a little bit obscure, maybe a B side or an album track or something like that.
Look, I just wanted to find, to be honest, just wanted to find a way to be able to squeeze this song in because it's my all-time favorite song. And
Okay,
it's
yeah.
Rumpy Band's "My Island Home."
Mhm.
It's just beautiful, and there's nothing as gorgeous as Mob singing about their love of country and love
Mhm.
of their home. That I find really inspiring to fight for country as well. And I'm moving out of this like I am always going to be anti-nationalist and anti-nation, but I don't know. Can you call yourself a patriot if you just love the land and country? Because I love
Absolutely, yeah,
I
yeah.
love I love our budja. I love our land, and I'm toying with that word patriot again. Like maybe I am this left-wing patriot because I care about country, and I hear the lyrics and the way this track is delivered by Warumpi Band, and I'm like, this is just I feel it in my heart. Like it's gorgeous.
Mhm. When I first came to Australia, obviously I was already a big music fan, and I knew that coming to live here would open up a whole back catalogue of material that I'd never heard before. Because living outside of Australia, when it comes to Australian music, you've got you've got AC/DC, you've got Midnight Oil, and you've got In Excess probably,
Yeah.
and that's about it. That's the sum total of it at Crowded House. But so when I first came to Australia, and I started listening to the radio, and I sort of started opening myself up to Australian bands that I'd never heard of. Black Fella White Fella was one of the first tracks that I was like, wow, like there's something going there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I absolutely love
So
that
good.
track. That's a great track. Yeah, what like Yuffie Yindi and bands like that. That I'd never even remotely heard of. Like living in the UK and living in
Yeah.
London. Yeah, incredible. I went on a massive mission for probably 2 or 3 years of like discovering Australian music. I'll tell you what kicked it off. I was at a quiz night. What was that pub called in on the South Perth, the Queens or the Royals or something. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
they had a massive quiz night. A friend of mine said, "Oh, we need someone for music. Come down, mate. We need someone who's a bit of a gun when it comes to music." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, yeah, no bother, I'll come down." And I went down there, mate. It was embarrassing. I knew nothing. I knew
Yeah.
absolutely nothing because it was mostly, questions about Australian music, and I had no idea. And I was like,
Yeah.
right, I need to, not embarrass myself
Yeah.
like
True,
that
true.
again at a quiz night in Australia.
There's a real context you got to like take into account. Like we got like I think it's easy to be an audiophile and be like I know music, but if you're going into a place that you're still learning and trying to understand the culture of their music, it's just like there's a whole bunch of shit I don't know. Like
Yeah,
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 really cool.
yeah. That's about it for the mixtape, Trent. What you got coming up after the gigs? What you got coming up after that? More gigs, or you back in the
Yeah.
studio? What's going on, mate?
Well, like Red Dirt has gone so well for us. We're just really frothing to write some new tracks. So
Yeah.
it's actually not next weekend, but the weekend after. We've booked 3 nights in this mansion up in I think Cervantes or Dorian Bay or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
This really old big house that we actually wrote most of Red Dirt in.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked last time, so we just go up there and have a
Yeah.
few beers, and the 5 of us set up in the lounge room there and put a little mini Zoom in the room and record
Yeah.
the jams and try and get a new album out there as soon as possible, because it's been such an enjoyable process getting Red Dirt out there. So I think we're just kind of chomping at the bit to get some new tunes out. So there's gonna be a lot of that, and I don't know, it'd be really great to head overseas, more in the long-term plans. We talked about money just before. The cost of that is really challenging. So we're trying to find some kind of workarounds to that situation. But yeah, banks are pretty hard to rob nowadays. Apparently, it's our scheming's not coming up so well.
Thanks so much for coming on, Trent. Really appreciate your time, mate. Good luck with the record. I hope it goes well for you. Good luck on tour. I will try and get down to the Milk Bar and catch you.
Sick.
Thanks for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
Let us know if you do come down. We'll chuck you down on the door, mate. It was a real pleasure doing this interview.
Magic, nice one. Cheers, Trent. Yeah. That was the Mixtape podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to jump up to the top of the page and smash that follow button, and you'll be notified every time there's a new episode. Or follow me on Instagram at the Mixtape Perf. Till the next time.